welcome. It's your girl, Millie Mills, and we're excited for another show this week. We are celebrating 21 episodes. Yes, 21 episodes for Blessed, and we have very exciting guests. We have the who's always with us, Michelle, out of Dallas, Texas. She's going to bring us in with a strong, encouraging word. And then we'll get to retired Lieutenant Colonel Curtis Lindsay, and of course, my sorority sister. She's a retired U.S. Army colonel as well. We're so excited for you guys. But first, we'll kick things off with Michelle.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I tell you, I am so excited. It is leading up to Easter. And how exciting is that? I mean, the Resurrection Sunday. And God is awesome. And He is just doing some magnificent things. And tonight, I want to talk about what was it to lead, the celebration of Easter, leading up to what God did, leading up to, Him going into Jerusalem, the resurrection. And as we come upon celebrating Easter, I wanted to trace the steps of God's steps. And on Wednesday, which is today, Jesus was in Bethany and Jesus was resting. And it tells you in Matthew 26:6, but I'm coming from the New Living Translation. It says that he who got his house, Jesus was at Simeon's house. It says, I am only going to consecrate on the 6th verse. And it was resting at the home of Simeon. It says, meanwhile, Jesus was in Bethany at the home of Simeon, a man who had previously had leprosy. And Jesus was resting, preparing his mind, preparing his body, his soul to that was occurring what the leading days was. Can you imagine kind of what was going on, what he was experiencing, what his mindset was like? Was he nervous? Was he not nervous? And he kind of, so I wanted to say that that we should rest in. He was resting, and as he was resting, maybe he was praying, maybe he was just meditating, he was trying to get his thoughts together. And as we are resting, we should rest in prayer. We should rest in reading God's word. We should rest in giving God thanksgiving. We should rest in giving Jesus glory. We should rest in putting Jesus first. And I just wanted to say that as it was resting is a big part of what we should do. When we rest in Jesus, we allow God to move in us. We allow God to speak a word in our spirit, begin to move, tell us what to do, where to go, what not to do. And this is very important because when you take on a big assignment and not being nervous, but just being confident and knowing that it's going to be for the betterment of other people and that you are living out the things that what should happen in order for God to live in you and be able to be for you. And in wrapping up on tonight, I just want to say that rest is significant part in leading up to Resurrection Sunday, because it is important that we sit back and we know what the true revelation of Resurrection Sunday is. And I'm going to turn it back over to Millie. May God bless you and may He keep you.
Amen. Amen. Great word. Amen. Thank you so much, Michelle. Yes. You always do it well. Michelle has her own page here as well on Facebook, Michelle's coaching session. So if you want to follow her for more encouraging words, you want to do that. Michelle's coaching session right here on Facebook. Now we're going to get into our interview. We're talking, of course, with the retired Lieutenant, U.S. Army Lieutenant, should I say, Colonel Curtis Lindsay. Yay!
Good evening. How's everybody doing? Thank you. Thank you for having us.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be with us. And of course, following after, well, the two of you are going to engage, but I just want to just introduce, of course, Jennifer Wesley. I'm so proud of you and all your accomplishments, both of you. So starting out with the interview, we got a short amount of time. So when you guys started in the program, you started at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Were your military careers launched before you came to the ROTC program at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff? Or did you know at that time you were going to go in this career path in that direction?
Well, for me, I would tell you that I knew from even out of high school that I was supposed to be in the Army and I was going to be an officer. My stepdad was in the Army and he took me around the world to Germany and certain places, and I just felt the need to serve in the military. And he just gave me one more up. He says, "Hey, if you're gonna go in and be an officer and make it all the way." And I was just driven to do that, and that was just where I was supposed to go. And I lived my dream. I've actually lived my dream. So I've checked the block and I feel good about it. And UAPB was just part of my launching pad to that route.
Yeah. So unlike Curtis, my route wasn't laid out, and it wasn't as intentional as his was. So I stumbled upon the ROTC program through one of my girlfriends at UAPB, who was a part of the program at the time. And what drew me to the program was they talked about receiving a $100 per month stipend. And so by me being a non-scholarship student, so I relied on Pell Grants, student loans, financial aid, work study to pay my own way through college. So when my girlfriend told me about the $100 a month, if I joined ROTC, I was like, okay, sign me up. So that's how I ended up in ROTC. So nothing like Curtis, right? Which is the reason he's one of my best friends, is because he just always had everything laid out. Me, I just kind of stumbled into it and stayed in for 30 years. So I stumbled into something that I just fell in love with immediately.
Wow. Stumble into a blessing. Yeah.
Amen.
Yes. And look how it turned out. That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm familiar with that. I've heard Bishop Jake say it. I mean, I've stumbled into a few blessings myself. So I do get that. What year did you guys enroll into the ROTC program at UAPB? Did we say that?
Well, we're both a class of '89, but I think I showed up at UAPB back in '86. So I was part of the transfer crew, normally known as the Bishop Boys, who left Bishop College when Bishop College closed. So the whole ROTC department picked up and sent us all to UAPB along with the football team. So and that's how we got the infamous name, the Bishop Boys. We showed up there in '86, and that's how I met Jen during that time frame.
Yep, absolutely. So I enrolled in ROTC in '86, and Curtis and the Bishop Boys, Michael Austin and all those guys, Mildred. So they all came in '86. So we grew in the program together. But again, so Curtis had already been in ROTC for 2 years when he came to UAPB, and it was my first year. So I kind of gravitated to people like him and Jackie Wilson and, Ken Williams and all those guys who had been in for a while. So they really kind of helped me grow in the program because they were already experienced. And I was like completely new, to the Army or cadet, way of life during the time.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that is so awesome. That is so awesome. So when you initially enrolled into the ROTC program, which you already kind of covered that, I know you guys didn't really think it would take you on the journey that it did. Well, as Jen said, you kind of stumbled into it, but did you even think that, Curtis, it would take you into the journey where you ended?
Uh, I had hoped so. That was just, I'm a driven person, I'm a type
Mm-hmm.
A, always trying to reach my goal and don't let anybody stumble me. So,
Right.
and even in my military career where it was tough and people tried to stumble me, I persevered. I just wouldn't quit. I had a goal of making, lieutenant colonel and making 20 years. And I said, I'm going to do that. And then after that, I'll figure out what I'm going to do. So it's, it's always been that passion in me. So that's why I get excited talking about it because everybody doesn't get to live their dream, and I did.
Yes. Woo, that is wow. I'm so proud of you guys, seriously. Because I know, there's especially back in the 80s, it wasn't a lot of, officers, minorities to make it to that rank that you guys made it to. So congratulations again.
Yeah, thank
On
you.
your
Thank
success.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so for years, the ROTC program has been a strong department with promising career opportunities at UAPB for students with military career interest. So, can you tell us how the Army ROTC program, which stands for Reserve Officers Training Corps, can you tell us, how that program will benefit students when they enroll? What are some of the benefits?
Yeah, I'd like to say, there's a lot of other benefits, and Jen's going to kind of talk about that. But you know what? The major two benefits that I pulled out of RTC was discipline and leadership. Those are two things that you can carry anywhere in life, right? You can carry it through your military career. You can carry it through your civilian life, wherever you want to go in the business world. It's two things that are just ingrained in you that helps you to be successful. You have great discipline and you have great leadership skills. That's something that you can carry all the time, and it's everybody can't be a leader. You either have it in you or you have to build that nature around you to be a leader. It's hard being a leader because guess what? You have to make tough decisions at tough times, and everybody can't do that. But
Yeah.
I'm so glad that those two things, those are the two biggest things I would say is a benefit out of the RTC program.
Yeah,
Awesome.
discipline and leadership are the core foundations, I think, of what ROTC has to offer. And it offers you that whether you make a career out of the military or not, just by being a part of the ROTC program, you will gain discipline and leadership. But to add along with that, there are also scholarship opportunities that come with that. So you can apply for and potentially be selected for a 4-year scholarship or a 2-year scholarship. And those scholarships pay for room and board, tuition, fees, and books, right? So you can receive full scholarship. And in addition to the full scholarship, you also receive a stipend of $420 a month. Now, when Curtis and I were in school, it was only $100 a month, but
Yeah.
it's grown quite a bit over the years. So you have the potential to go to school on a full scholarship that pays for everything. And in addition to that, receive $420 a month to really do whatever you want to do with it. Now, if you're not a scholarship student and you're actively participating in the program, you can still receive that $420 a month. So when Curtis and I were in school, and that's why this program is so important for us, because we weren't scholarship students. So we basically lived off of that $100 a month. And I tell Curtis all the time, I'm like, I learned how to budget money by receiving
Mhm.
that $100 a month check in ROTC. I spent $20 per week.
Yeah,
I make that money last. But now
yeah.
the kids receive $420. So those are some of the financial benefits that students will receive if they become a part of the program.
That is so good to know. That's really good to know because, a lot of students may not have the financial means or support to, get an education. So thanks so much for breaking it down, giving those real sound details. So can you guys give us a little information on, ROTC? I know we just talked about what it stands for, Reserve Officers Training Corps, but a little history and just kind of tell us how students can enroll.
Oh, loaded question. Okay, so let's start with the history. The history of the UAPB ROTC program started back in 1967 with Lieutenant Colonel Batiste. He had the charter to come and be the first professor of military science at UAPB, and he had a tough task because he had to train some officers during the Vietnam era and where civil rights movement was going on, and there was a lot of things going on, and he had to train us as African Americans to be in the Officer Training Corps. He started off with 27 cadets, and he graduated 24 of them, who all went on to have good military careers, great military careers, and then even into the civilian sector. It's great. Since that day, since 1970, we have commissioned over 570 cadets into the Army or through the Army ROTC program, and most of them are either retired through their own active duty. Yep, that's back in the day, back in '89. So I would tell you that it's that class there. Just about 75% of us made lieutenant colonel. Out of all of us, right? So it's amazing that a group of people who come together for a same mission does that. So it's exciting. That history is exciting, and so Jen, just tell them about the how to get to the ROTC program. There's Colonel Batiste. Who recently just passed away almost a year ago. He was the one who was chartered to come and start the ROTC program. Thank you.
Yeah, so just to add to that, so UAPB was the first HBCU in the state of Arkansas to have an ROTC program. So we had 4 HBCUs at the time, but they designated our alma mater to start the ROTC program. So, I mean, we're just super proud, that we were selected to be the first for the state of Arkansas.
Yes, congratulations. You guys made history. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we've been doing it now we're on 53 years right now. So that's amazing.
Right. And in 2018, we celebrated our 50th year anniversary of having the ROTC program at UAPB. And it was such an awesome occasion. And I think we had over 200 attendees. And those 200 attendees included former ROTC students, that went through UAPB. Some made a career of the military, some did not. But it was just an awesome event. I mean, for the younger generation of officers to be with the us older generations, which Curtis and I are part of that, definitely a part of that older generation now.
Middle generation.
Yeah. But it was just really a great time. And the most significant part for Curtis and I is we were able to really connect with the first commissioning class of 1970. So we were able to connect with them, and they were able to just share their pearls of wisdom and knowledge with us. And, it was just an awesome event. Every time I think about it, I just get choked up, because just the fact that we're able to still be in fellowship with them, in this day and age.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations again. So how can a student contact the ROTC recruitment department at UAPB for those who are interested?
Yes, so there are a couple of ways. They can go to the UAPB website and go under academics and click under military science. And there's all the contact information there for the Department of Military Science. And they can also contact Ms. Jelena Williams, who's the recruiting and retention officer at UAPB. But everything is located on the website for anyone that's interested in being a part of ROTC.
You had mentioned this site right here. Is that another way they can?
Yes, that's another way. uapb.edu.org. Yes.
Okay.
That is the site.
Yeah, awesome. Let me put it back up there again, just in case someone missed it. You can pass that along to your family and friends. I'm really enjoying this interview. For those of you just tuning in, this is Bring It in the House. We're celebrating 21 episodes tonight, of course, with great retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Curtis Lindsay, and of course, the beautiful Sarah Colonel Jennifer Wesley. And of course, we have our spiritual life coach, Miss Michelle Strother, in the house. We're just excited to be here. Thanks so much again. Got a few more questions. And when we're having fun, time really goes fast. So I know you talked about some of the questions we touched on was Commissioned Officers Association. So you guys got 30 plus years of service, life service, and you now are part of the UAPB Commissioned Officers Association. Y'all call it COA. Okay, so which in part was created to support the ROTC program and its students at our university. Can you briefly tell us about UAPB COA, Commissioned Officers Association program?
So our Commissioned Officer Association started with that original commissioning class of 1970, and they came together in 2008, and they said we need to have an association that we be able to reach back and touch the program and be able to give wisdom and mentorship to them. The mission of the COA is to support the department and promote and sustain communication and direct mutual relationships among the alumni, the cadets, the cadre, the staff, and the university. We are trying to continue to reach out and make sure that we touch each and every person who goes through the program and make sure that the program is still vibrant. The most important thing that this COA does is something that me and Jen didn't have, and that was that long-term mentorship. We wanted to make sure that every cadet who becomes a commissioned officer that goes into the military has somebody to reach out to and talk to. And having that mentorship from your own school is important. So we wanted to make sure that we foster that and we connect with those folks in the as part of our COA.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that and talk about the membership of the COA. So who can be a member? So if you served in ROTC 1 semester, 4 semesters, it doesn't matter, then you can become a member of the Commissioned Officers Association. It's also open to family members of students that served in ROTC. If you served in the military, whether you retired or not, you can become a member of the Commissioned Officers Association. So basically, we've just pretty much opened it up to everyone that attended UAPB. And even if you just kind of pass through the old building, you know, where we used to have the old football games at on that field. But that's who the membership was intended for. Anybody that went through ROTC and attended assemblies in that building in the picture that you're showing, they can become a member of the COA.
Oh, that is so nice. Oh, I gotta let that picture stay there just a little bit longer. I was just taking it all in. And here's another picture I wanted to, okay, there you and Jen and Curtis together. That's another one of those.
That's at Jennifer's retirement. So
yeah, that's during my retirement ceremony.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so special. I wish I could have been there. I missed out on a lot of.
Yeah. So some of the other things that we do real quick, scholarships is a big thing for us, right? We're all about giving scholarships as part of the COA, and it's part of our initiative. So every time during homecoming, We always gather together as a COA during the homecoming, except for in this past COVID year, right? We get together and we give out scholarships to the ROTC cadets for those who are non-scholarship and who needs a little bit of help and a little bit of boost to get them through. You know, in the past 4 years, we gave out $12,000 worth of scholarships, right? And we've given, not only we've given to the students, it pays for their books and it pays for tuition. You know, it helps people just to be motivated and to keep going through the program so they can have a better life and a better career. So, you know, if you want to be part of the COA, I would tell you, look, just go on. If you want to reach us, just go to uapbcoa.org. That's our website. That's our link to everything that we have. We have a Facebook page that's the same that says UAPB COA, right? Commission Officers Association. We're on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Connect with us on Facebook. And for us professionals, we're also on LinkedIn as well. So go to that site on LinkedIn. Check in with us. Connect with us so you can stay informed of everything that's going on. So.
Okay. Anything you want to add to that, Jennifer?
No, I think he covered it all.
Yeah, you guys really prepared. You guys brought on a lot of great information. So how can they contact the COA? We got that on social media. You did that on Facebook. Okay. And of course, you're going to be celebrating a virtual UAPB COA homecoming event on May 7th. Am I correct?
That's right. So
yes.
we're having a virtual homecoming on May 7th. It's going to be posted tomorrow on our Facebook and on our webpage and on our LinkedIn page. I encourage you to sign up and be a part of this for a lot of reasons. You know, register at uapbcoa.org, sign up and register and be a part of the Zoom group when we have this COA. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know what? I jumped ahead. Let me get Jen to tell you what's all is going to go on because we're running out of time.
I was just going to let you roll with it. You're doing such an excellent job. But yes, so we are hosting our COA virtual homecoming. And in normal circumstances, this homecoming would actually be held during the week of homecoming, right? But of course, none of that's happening this year. So we're doing it virtually. And as Curtis already kind of stated, so it's going to be really a 2-hour event full of fun. We're going to open up with different breakout rooms, depending on what year you graduated. So we're going to have a 70s breakout room, an 80s breakout room, a 90s, and a 2000 breakout room. And that's going to kind of serve as our meet and greet for everyone to kind of reconnect with some of their classmates. And then from there, we're going to have a short slideshow capturing the history of the ROTC program at UAPB. And what's going to be awesome about the capturing the history, we're going to have members from that first commissioning class of 1970. They're going to actually be narrating the history of the ROTC program. So we're excited about that. And then we're going to have remarks by our own Chancellor, Alexander, and our Vice Chancellor, Mr. Carr. They're going to be guests as well. And then we're going to have our very own General Andre Pagui, my favorite general in the United States Army. He's going to give special remarks, and he's going to kind of set the stage for the occasion that's bringing us all together. And then following that, we're going to have different breakout rooms where people can hop in and out of just to kind of, you know, meet the professor of military science, meet the cadets that will be commissioned the following day. We're also going to have a live podcast ran by Mr. Amos King, who's also a UAPB graduate and a commissioning officer through the program. And then we're also going to have the opportunity to meet and chat with the COA president, Mr. Charles Griffith. So once we finish in our breakout rooms, we're going to all come back together in the main virtual space. And then we're going to have a special presentation that's going to honor those ROTC members that are no longer with us particularly Mr. Vaughn, who just passed away recently, who was one of the founding members of COA, and he was a part of that first commissioning class of 1970. And then once we finish that, we're going to go into the giveaways and the prizes and all that. And then we're going to close out with our own Vesper choir singing the UAPB alma mater. So we're really excited about it. It's going to be a quick, fun, hour and 45 minutes of events back to back. So we just hope that everyone can join us.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for that information. I'm definitely going to try my best to tune in. May 7th, virtual. Okay, right. Homecoming.
And the post will be up on tomorrow, so you can get there and you can register. It's $25 to register, and when you register, guess what? You'll get our brand new COA coin that we're going to be giving out as part of our giveaways. So, and then there's a lot of other prizes that we're going to be able to go through and have fun with. But if you register, that's when you're able to win the prize. Otherwise, you just have to watch it on Facebook.
I heard that. Guys, we've run out of time. Oh, I hate that it's so short, but you guys can always come back to the show. You can always come back and do another session. We'd love to have you back because it's so much information and it's very informative for students. We love you guys, and thanks so much for everything you have done for the country.
Love you too.
Yeah. I'm getting sentimental. In case some of you are watching, if you don't get a chance to see it, you can always go to our YouTube channel, the Millhouse Entertainment YouTube channel, and catch any previous shows that you've missed. I know a lot of family members may be working, may not be able to see this episode. You can catch it tomorrow on YouTube. Just type in Millhouse Entertainment, and there you have it. Again, we want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. We spoke live.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh man, look at that.
The gentleman you said that passed away, is he in any of these pictures?
I don't believe so.
Not in that one.
No, he's not in any of these pictures. No, but yeah, he was a great man of God and a great leader. Period.
Yeah, he was a serious mentor. He was serious about mentorship.
Yeah. So,
on behalf of the staff here at Bringing in the House, we have, we're extending our condolences to him and his family. And we'll catch you guys in 2 weeks. We'll be talking with Hollywood director John West Jr. They're working on a new film out in LA, so you don't want to miss that. We love you. Peace out. Thank you so much for joining us here on Bring It in the House.